What's up and welcome. This is Me, You, and Switch 2. I'm me, Tom Tate, and you are you. So we're going to talk about Switch 2. This is the latest and greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news, brought to you every Tuesday and Friday in 5 to 10 minute snackable, short and sweet episodes. Today is Tuesday, November 4th. However, I'm recording this one on Monday night because I have to be on the road to New York City tomorrow at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and there was no way that I was going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to record the podcast. So hopefully there's not a surprise Nintendo Direct or something crazy that drops overnight. Otherwise, I think we'll be in good shape. I hope that you had a great weekend. I want to give a quick thanks and shout out to After the Fire 111 for leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It says, knowledgeable, obviously a fan of Nintendo, great info, and softly spoken. This guy's on top of things. I love it. I appreciate the kind words. Hearing that I am softly spoken makes me think I'm in the wrong line of work. So maybe I should reconsider what I do with my spare time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to continue to host the greatest Nintendo Switch 2 news podcast I possibly can. Okay, let's get on with the show. On the first episode of every month, I typically take a look at all the games planning to be released in that month. And it's hard to believe it. We just had Halloween weekend. We are officially in November. The weather is getting colder, and there are quite a few big games coming out as we get closer to the holidays. November is typically an opportunity to release some of those games before Black Friday, if possible. And then, of course, a few of the stragglers, as we'll see. So in release date order, let's get into the lineup. Up first is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This is releasing on November 6th. The official description here, battle hordes of enemies in the untold story of the imprisoning war. Experience the complete true story of Demon King Ganondorf's invasion that was briefly shown in The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game. This one's going to be $70, and this is a Musou game. It's based on the Dynasty Warriors gameplay, which is kind of a hack and slash style of gameplay. It is the third proper game in the Hyrule Warriors series. This one is being based on Tears of the Kingdom, while the last one, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, was based on Breath of the Wild. So I actually haven't played any of these games. I've never played a Warriors-style game. I've never played a Hyrule Warriors game. And despite being a big Zelda fan, this is kind of a blank spot for me. So please reach out to me and tell me that I am a fool and I'm missing out if these are games that I absolutely must play, and I will put this one on my radar. Up next, we have Goodnight Universe. This is going to release on November 11th. This is a $20 game, so a bit cheaper. The art style on this one looks really, really fresh, kind of cel-shaded. We saw a bit of this in July's Partner Direct, and the description here on the official Nintendo site is, be a psychic baby. You are Isaac, a 6-month-old baby developing mysterious psychic powers. What you want most is to be loved and accepted by your family, but a secretive tech corporation wants you for their own. And the Nintendo game listing doesn't cover this much, but apparently Goodnight Universe uses eye tracking technology that will allow the player to move and manipulate objects with their eyes if you have a camera accessory hooked up to the console or, in this case, Switch 2. This is actually releasing on other consoles. It'll release on PC. So I think this eye tracking concept is super wild, and I'm curious if this is actually included in the final Switch 2 release or if this is something that will only show up on PC and other things. I think given the emphasis on the camera accessory for Switch 2, this might actually have it. But I was surprised to not see it listed on the Nintendo game listing. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Up next, on November 13th, we're getting a trio of Atelier Ryza games, including a deluxe pack that has all three. So this will be Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness, and the Secret Hideout of DX. Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends of the Secret Fairy DX, and Atelier Ryza 3, Alchemist of the End of the Secret Key DX. Again, all three releasing on November 13th. Hosting this podcast has introduced me to a whole slew of JRPGs and RPGs across the globe that I just never heard of. And the Atelier series, I was checking this out on Wikipedia, has 27 main games. So there have been 27 titles in the Atelier series. This collection features games from 2019, 2020, and 2023. And it looks like they were originally released on Switch, the original Switch, PlayStation, and Windows. So it'll be $90 for the collection and $40 each if you want to pick them up separately. Another RPG series that I've never really discovered is the Inazuma 11 series. And Inazuma 11 Victory Road Nintendo Switch 2 edition will be arriving on November 13th as well. This one is from Level 5, and we know them from doing Yokai Watch and Professor Layton games. So this series started out as a DS game, and it spawned multiple sequels and manga and anime TV series, so it ended up being a pretty big deal, but only a few things came to the West. So there's a soccer component to this one, and here's just the official description, which is ridiculous. A new era of hyperdimensional football will see online battles ignite the world. Oh, smoldering clouds, let Inazuma's lightning split the sky. The newest title in the hyperdimensional football RPG series, Inazuma 11, is finally here. A new story featuring a new protagonist, over 5,400 characters to collect and train, as well as an intense competitive mode. There is no shortage of activities to enjoy. Okay, this one looks absolutely crazy. Again, there's a soccer/football mode in here, part of the key gameplay mechanic. It's going to be, and oddly enough, it's going to be $72.58. So if you're interested in this one, check it out. If you played any of the original titles, I'm definitely going to check out this series. I don't know that I'm going to be picking up this one to start, but it's piqued my interest, so I'm going to check it out. After that, also on November 13th, we have Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2. These will be available separately or as a bundle. These are remakes of Yakuza 1 and 2. Yakuza was 2005. Yakuza 2 was 2008 in the US. And then Kiwami was 2016 and Kiwami 2 was 2018. So we've had multiple opportunities to play these games. And, shockingly, I haven't played these ones yet. But they've always been on my list. And here we are getting both for Switch 2. I think they are reasonably priced at $50 for the pack or $30 each. Kiwami says enhanced graphics, improved frame rates, and additional language support on Nintendo Switch 2. And then the Kiwami 2 listing says a bonus Majima Saga scenario separate from the main story is also included. I doubt that is exclusive to Switch 2, but it looks like these are a great place to start if you haven't played this series yet. And I think it's going to be where I start, and I'm probably going to pick these up this month. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is arriving on Switch 2 on November 14th. This is a fighting game from Bandai Namco. It was released for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows on October 11, 2024. So this is over 12, 13 months old at this point. But it was received pretty well, got good reviews. Unleashed the strength of over 180 fighters from Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, and selected Dragon Ball movies, all in the base game. There are actually 3 editions in the eShop ranging from $60 to $100, and the listings have the breakdown of what's different if you want to check that out. Up next, we have SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. This is arriving on November 18th. This is a $40 3D platformer, fully voiced by the original cast of the show, which I thought was pretty awesome. There's really not much else to say. It's a SpongeBob game. These aren't terrible, though. My kids have played a few of these. I've watched them. I've dabbled in them a little bit. There's a demo out now if you want to check it out, and there's a more expensive edition with extra content if you are a diehard SpongeBob fan. Up next, this game is not even listed on the eShop yet, so I don't know what that tells you. This game is called Squirrel with a Gun. It is arriving on November 18th. That's right, Squirrel with a Gun. Here's what their website says. Squirrel, meet gun. As the neighborhood's most obnoxious rodent, develop a knack and a love for crime and mayhem in pursuit of golden acorns in this nutty sandbox shooter and puzzle platformer. Fight tooth, claw, and gun to escape a secret underground facility and defeat the agents. So this title is giving me a Snakes on a Plane vibe, right? Squirrel with a Gun. This game already exists. It is on Steam. It has over 2,000 positive reviews. So it's not a game that people hate. It's a game that people have actually really enjoyed. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one and see if it actually ends up on Nintendo.com. finally, we have Kirby Air Riders. This is November 20th. This will be towards the end of the month. I've watched full-length movies, shorter than the 2 Nintendo Directs that I've watched on Kirby Air Riders, both of which were awesome and both of which I covered on this podcast. So I'm sure we will be talking about this more leading up to the launch. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it now because we've already exceeded the 10-minute mark of this show, but you can check out my previous episodes if you want to learn more. This will be a $70 title at launch. Lots of amiibo, lots of hype for this one, but no DLC. It's all going to be packed in, and there's a lot to experience in this game. So definitely check out those previous episodes if you want to learn more about Kirby Air Riders. And then last but not least, Hades 2, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, will be arriving on November 20th. Now, obviously, the digital version is already out, but this is the physical release. It'll be $49.99. The pre-order is up at Best Buy and various places. You're actually getting the Switch 1 cartridge, the Switch 1 carts, with a Switch 2 upgrade code. So it's like a special edition game key card, right? Where the game is actually on the card, but it's the Switch 1 edition. And if you want to play the Switch 2 version, you'll have to upgrade it and download that file separately. And then I have an honorable mention here. I have Terminator 2D No Fate. This game will release on November 26th, but not for Nintendo Switch 2. It'll be for Nintendo Switch 1, and I'm sure it will be backwards compatible if you want to play it on Switch 2. It's got a great retro throwback style in both graphics and gameplay. It kind of looks like a lost PC or arcade game, which is right up my alley because I grew up playing these video game movie tie-ins like Jurassic Park. So many great games, Judge Dredd, RoboCop. Like, I played all of those games growing up on Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, so I'm excited for this one for sure. All right, I'm way over time. That is it. Pretty big month, though. Let me know what you're picking up. I'm going to go all in on Yakuza, Kiwami 1 and 2. I'm on Blue Sky at Switch2Pod. I'm at switch2pod.com for all the things. A kind rating or review wherever you listen to the show helps me continue to grow. A recommendation to a friend, family member, Discord server, Reddit community, or anywhere that Nintendo fans hang goes even further. The numbers rise every single week, and that is all on you because I'm doing zero promotion for this thing. So I really appreciate it. I'm incredibly grateful for your time and your attention. I'll be back on Friday. I hope you have a great week. Until then, much love. Now go play some games.